We just did 95K in cash collected in January, and our operations are a lot more structured.
So 95 cash from this 25 to 40K in 1 year ago and close to the 100. That's pretty awesome. And if you could say, how much has it helped you to work more on the business?
With the help of you guys, we basically managed to cut our time in the operations in half. And now it's 25, maybe 20 hours, depending on the week. It's overall been greatly reduced, and our whole service has improved as a result of that. Also, to just have a blueprint and to know what operational greatness looks like, because both me and my co-founder, we worked at agencies before and with other agencies, but we never really had a standard where we're like, okay, this is how it should be structured and how we want our company to look like. So you guys provided a lot of great inspiration in terms of, okay, this is how you can actually build this from the ground up.
All right, guys, I am joined today here with Florian from Vital Mission. And Florian, we and I have been working together in the past year, and we have achieved together some really nice results that we want to talk about today and share some really valuable lessons. Florian, nice to have you with us today.
Hi, Florian. Nice to join you.
Perfect. Can you quickly tell us, what is your agency? What do you guys do? And then we can dive into a little bit the progress you have made.
Yeah, sure. Vital Mission was founded by my co-founder and myself, and we help finance and investment companies go from 1 to 10 million in revenue through leads that convert like network referrals. And yes, that's what we do. Yeah.
Great. And so tell us a little bit about when we started working together, which was around a year ago, pretty much exactly. What was the situation back then in terms of the revenue? Where was the agency at, and how was the situation also inside the day-to-day of the agency?
Yes, when we started working together, we basically had two problems. So we were fluctuating in terms of revenue between 40 to as low as 25K per month. And our fulfillment was not structured at all. So it was basically me and my co-founder in the client fulfillment all the time. And we were working 60-hour weeks and almost had no time to focus on working on the business instead of in the business. Yeah, so that was the status quo, and which is why we came to you guys to help us figure that out.
Great. That sounds really like a lot of agencies. I feel like they have this issue working too much in the business and then not allowing them to scale. Then let's actually talk about how the situation is now, and then we can dive a little bit into what helped you to actually achieve that. So fast forward 1 year later, what's the situation now in terms of revenue? How do the operations look like? Let's talk about it.
Yes, right now the situation is a lot better. So we just did 95K in cash collected in January, and our operations are a lot more structured. We can delegate to key employees, and overall it's a lot more streamlined and focused, both in terms of the clients that we work with and the product we deliver.
That's really cool. Yeah, so 95 cash from this 25 to 40K 1 year ago and close to 100. That's pretty awesome. And if you could say, how much has it helped you to work more on the business? How has your time in the delivery and day to day, how much has that gone down on average compared to where it was before?
Yes, with the help of you guys, we basically managed to cut our time in the operations in half. So before that, we were consistently working 45 to 50 hours per week just in fulfillment. And now it's 25, maybe 20 hours, depending on the week and if we have onboardings and stuff like that. But yeah, it's overall been greatly reduced, and our whole service has improved as a result of that.
That's really cool. Can you tell us more? How has your service improved? That's actually interesting to hear.
Yeah, I think it's basically if you're not able to take a step back and look at things holistically, you're just in the trenches every day. You lose the ability to zoom out and improve the system. So you're just working too much in it to see from above, hey, does this actually make sense that we do all these steps? And you're able to, improve it a lot that way. Also, obviously, with the advancement of AI, it's important that you actually have the time to spend or invest into learning about key technologies, how you can implement them from your business. And previously, we weren't in a situation where this was able to be done by us just because we had so many tasks to tackle for our clients. Yeah.
Nice. That's really cool. And yeah, also another thing that you mentioned as well is one thing that helped you to actually get to this stage where you're focusing on the right clients and are able to get them good results. Maybe can you tell us what we did there together to achieve this so that you're not stuck so much in the operations and the fulfillment?
Yes, so one of the first exercises that we did with you guys was basically the client analysis sheet, where we went through the specific clients that we were currently working with or have worked with in the past, and where we really analyzed, okay, what was the outcome that we managed to deliver for them? How much did we charge them? What was customer lifetime value, customer lifetime profit? And then grouping those clients into A, B, and C tiers. And for us, that highlighted a big discrepancy in the types of clients that we were working with previously, where we had some clients that we were actually losing money on and that we didn't enjoy working with as much as some clients that were really awesome to work with and that we delivered awesome results for them, but also made a lot of money. For us, the conclusion from that exercise was to reshift our positioning and entirely focus on a niche that we previously didn't actively look into for client acquisition. So yeah, this also helped solve a lot of the complexities that came as a downstream effect from that and improved our operations greatly.
Yeah, it's really great to hear. I think a lot of agencies, they struggle with that, right? So, first of all, you need to take on many clients at the beginning just to get by. But then when you want to scale, you need to really be able to specialize to simplify the operations. And also, another point I feel like a lot of agencies struggle with is not really knowing their numbers. How much does it cost to fulfill for this client? And how much smarter would it be to focus on this client where we get way more for what we put in terms of the hours? So yeah, that's super great. That helped you. Anything else comes to mind if you had to summarize what were the most important fixes or the things that helped you the most overall working together to get to this situation?
I think also to just have a blueprint and to know what operational greatness looks like, because both me and my co-founder, we worked at agencies before and with other agencies, but we never really had a standard where we're like, okay, this is how it should be structured and how we want our company to look like. So you guys provided a lot of great inspiration in terms of, okay, this is how you can actually build this from the ground up. So yeah, that was very helpful for us because it also gave us the ability to let go of certain people and just stop doing a lot of things, because intuitively you think you always have to do more, but at the same time it's also about stopping to do certain or a lot of things actually that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good point because also now in the age of AI, in the age of good processes and AI tools, it's not necessary anymore to have huge teams to be able to scale. It's really more about, do you have a good organization, good structure, good processes, good documentation that AI can also leverage to help you streamline the whole fulfillment. And then you just focus more on team members that are actually fitting into working with you, that are really like a tight knit small group where everybody's like super leveraged by AI instead of a bloated team like it used to be back in the day. So yeah, that makes total sense. And if someone is in a similar situation like you, where they identified themselves, they had similar pain points like what you mentioned earlier, and too much in the business, revenue fluctuating, and maybe they've seen this interview now, they know about us, and maybe they're still hesitating, what would you tell them to do?
Yeah, so I would basically tell them to invest in their business, take the leap to speak with you guys if they're in a similar position like we were in. So if you have a baseline of revenue and profit, but you feel like things are too chaotic and you want to take the next step, then working with Kilian, Adele, and the team is definitely a viable solution, and it worked for us.
Nice. That's great to hear. And obviously, I'm happy to say that we're still working together after a year. So we still have big goals together and want to continue helping you. So maybe as a quick recap here at the end, what would you say what's next for the agency Vital Mission? What's the goals for the next months ahead and the things we planned already to help you guys with and to support you with?
Yeah, so I think for us, it's now about taking the next step. So we want to consistently do 6 figures in revenue while maintaining our profitability. We want to invest more into the content side of things, continue to acquire awesome clients in the finance and investment space, and continue to grow efficiently and focused, and get the consistent performance.
Nice. That's what we're all about. Thank you so much for sharing all of this, Florian. It's been nice talking to you, and it's great to have you as a client. And I look forward to continuing achieving great results with you. So thanks for being on.
All right. Thank you, Kian.
Perfect. Bye, everybody.